last night, but couldn't get the job done in the second half. Philadelphia scored 2 unanswered touchdowns, including a 53-yard fumble return, and Dallas couldn't get their offense rolling behind rookie QB Ben DiNucci. Zeke ended with 63 yards on the ground, and Dallas was only able to muster 2 red zone trips without scoring on either. Fox Sports NFL analyst Michael Vick joining us this morning. Mike, good to have you. I'm going to start with you. Is it finally time to count the Cowboys out of the NFC East?
If Andy Dalton's back next week, then I'll give the Dallas Cowboys the benefit of the doubt. If Ben DiNucci is the starting quarterback next week, then I'm going to say absolutely, because for one, I know it was Sunday Night Football, and it's a big stage. I played on it. It's a it creates more of a dramatic situation than it could be if you feed into it. And I think Ben DiNucci got caught up in a little bit of that. Philadelphia Eagles on the other side. It's a rivalry, and it shook him, man. It shook his boots. I never seen a quarterback react and play the way. And I know he's a rookie too. Let me add that. But, that was tough. That was tough to watch yesterday. After watching other rookies around the league, it makes me question, to some degree, the Dallas Cowboys' evaluation of talent at times. Because, look, I mean, any quarterback you bring in, he got to be evaluated from the top down. And the arm strength wasn't there. The confidence wasn't there. And, I had to honestly tell my son, look, go play. Don't watch this game, because this is not the ideal way of playing the quarterback position. I could care less if he's a rookie. I thought the Dallas Cowboys competed, and they hung in there. So if they had more play or some more confident play at the quarterback position, they would have had a chance. So all depends on if Andy Dalton comes back next week.
I agree. No, they're not out of it, because I didn't see anything from the Eagles that would convince me they're ready to run away with this division. I haven't seen anything from Washington, the Cowboys, and unfortunately, the old saying, Mike, somebody's got to win. Somebody's going to have to win this bad division. In Washington, the football team, excuse me, the Eagles and the Cowboys, I know the Cowboys, I know we look bad, but we're only a game back. Washington was on the bye week. They win next week. They're in first place. So with all that being said, no, they're not out of it. Like you just said, if I was an evaluator, the way I would evaluate a player, Skip, everybody, it took him and he's not going to be ready to play. But what happens if somebody gets hurt in front of him? I understand you had Dak, Skip, and Dak has never been hurt. So you're thinking Ben DiNucci is going to have 2-3 years to develop. But what happens when Dak gets hurt, his backup gets hurt, and DiNucci has to play?
Yep.
Now you in for it. And he looked like it. Skip, the thing was, and Jim Schwartz was trying to do too much disguising. Why are you disguising? That's not Tom Brady. That's not Peyton Manning or Mahomes back there. Just line up in him and come get it, because he hasn't been in the league long enough to distinguish whether or not they're gonna fail or not. And you see when they came and they forced the fumble, they just lined up in it. They ran the exact same blitz that Wolf Hunter hit Wentz in his mouth with.
Yep.
They ran the same blitz and they hit him in his mouth. He fumbled the ball, they scooped and scored. So for me, Skip, no. Nobody is running away with this division. If you count 6 wins as winning the division as running away, because I believe that's what the winning of this division is going to have. They're not going to have more than 7, but I want to say right now, the winner of the NFC East will have 6 wins. You look at that schedule, you look at who they play, who they beating, who they going to run off and win 3 games in a row, Skip.
No, seriously. How are you getting to 6 for anybody? How are you getting past 4?
Well,
no, I'm serious. You got to show me 6.
Well, I look at it right now. The Eagles have 3. They got 9 games to go. They should be able to win 33% of the games.
I don't see it. Looking down the schedule, I don't see it. So, Michael Vick, I want to thank you for your objectivity when it comes to my Cowboys, because Benjamin Anthony DiNucci's initials are B-A-D, and he was just flat out bad last night. And I'm pretty sure B.A.D. just played his first and last NFL game, because I'm pretty sure Andy Dalton's going to come back. And God bless this young man. I'm sure he's a great kid from James Madison. He just doesn't look to me like he can play pro football. To Michael's point, I didn't see the arm strength. I saw wild high. I know it was windy and a little drizzly. but I didn't see poise. I didn't see confidence. I didn't see mental toughness. I saw flinchy and fidgety, and I got to bolt the pocket at the first sign of pressure. And despite all that, when I woke up this morning, I thought my team should have won that game. My team actually, they forced 4 turnovers from Carson Wentz. My partner calls him walk it to him Wentz. I now call him give it to him Wentz, because he gives it to us again and again and again.
Everybody gets it.
To everybody. He is running away with the individual turnover race in this league, because he's up to 16, which is 5 more than Kirk Cousins or Danny Dimes that we'll see tonight on Monday Night Football. 5 more, that's Carson Wentz. He kept my team afloat. And not only that, but the 4th one came early in the 3rd quarter, and my team suddenly started driving, not because of BAD Ben DiNucci, because they started actually doing what Shannon's called for them to do from the first of the year. They started actually handing it to number 21, and he goes 9 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards. Then he needs a little rest because he makes a lot of money and he needs a little blow. and here comes my backup, who's pretty good, and he's a good change of pace. And Tony Pollard, he's got a little wiggle and a little burst to him that Zeke doesn't have, and he goes for 7 and he goes for 9. And all of a sudden it winds up 2nd and 8 from the Philly 26. Wait a second, we're going in for what could be the 16-7 touchdown. That would feel like 36-7 in a game like this. And what happened on the next play? My coordinator, Kellen Moore, calls a trick play, a gadget play, if we could see this. Cedric Wilson's going to throw it, except he gets thrown for like a 30-yard loss by Fletcher Cox. I don't know what you're doing. If you just keep pounding and running, run it down their throats.
Yep.
They can't stop you. They're on their heels. But you think you got to trick them because you got a 7th-round rookie at quarterback, and it blew up in your face. And they missed the 52-yard field goal, and that to me basically was the beginning of the end.
Well, your coach did say he had a few more trick plays up his sleeve that half,
so.
remember?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'll say this too. To DiNucci's credit, it looked like the Dallas Cowboys was trying to play a real conservative offense too. A lot of screen passes, it seemed like they wanted to just get the ball out of his hands, and they didn't take the right approach in terms of giving him the best opportunity to go out there and play with some confidence. If you got a young guy like that, you have to get him involved early. You have to get him some confidence, get him some easy completions, and get him into the flow of the game. But I guarantee you this, after all is said and done, Dak will be getting a $500 million contract next year, because this validates that the Dallas Cowboys need Dak Prescott behind the center. I don't care about anybody else who steps out there. Dak gonna get a $500 million.
Okay, but think back to the last time Dallas played at Philadelphia.